Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis, and we're going to use one of the same decks for a change because we went undefeated, and normally what that means is once we go undefeated, Arena's trying to trick me into doing ranked battles. And ranked battles usually don't go that well for me, but I'm nothing if not eternally optimistic. The cool thing is, they gave us the combo, so even against mono red aggro, this isn't mono red, they gave us green too, so there's some other stuff going on here, but we can go ahead and exile their creatures. And they immediately use all their ramp to ramp yet again. So we're just going to bring our enchantment back up, and that'll exile their card. And we have to worry about haste attackers with this little lot here. But they usually go faster than this. Our opponent is the P-Demon. Did I mention that we have to worry about haste with this group here? Alright, I think we just go ahead and kill everybody, right? I've got the right amount of mana. So we use the board wipe. It's faster. They just have enough to resurrect it and bring it right back out again. They go straight for the face this time. I feel like they're going to do some sort of Itali thing. So we get rid of another one. Oh, we probably did that the wrong way. I was probably supposed to do Restoration of Ganjo first and get the other land. They discard a Lightning Strike. Normally a useful spell they hold on to. Aha! Okay, so instead of going to use Restoration of Ganjo, we're just going to bring back up Meticulous Excavation now. I don't think our opponent can stop it. If so, they would have done something by now. We cast it again. We get rid of yet another creature. Ah, they have another Lightning Strike. Okay, we're starting to get a little low on life. Okay, so let's do 3, 6, 7. Okay, so now we'll go get the land, a Ganjo. We go ahead and bring back up this so that they don't get their creature back. And we can still use Break the Spell on Virtue of Strength. And we get to draw a card from it. No, it wasn't ours. It has to be our spell for us to get a card draw. There's Itali. We knew you were in there somewhere. What are we getting? Lorna, the Third Path. So they get rid of Meticulous, which means we don't really have a way to get things back, right? Let's see. So, but if we discard this, we can get Meticulous Excavation back. And that means that we can actually get rid of a tally. And then we'll just go ahead before they destroy something else. Let's bring it back up so a tally's gone forever. The problem is now they can hit us for 6 points of damage at least. And that gives them 3 creatures. Alright, there's one blocker. We can do one of these. I think we need to get rid of that puppy. We can do one of these and get a 2/2. And now as long as they don't have direct damage, we can chump block here. And they have everything they need. They have all the land in the world. Refilling their hand, looking at Meticulous Excavation now. Ooh, using Besiege You. Okay. We'll go get another land. That means they could get a tally back. And they don't send Lauren anywhere. Oh, hang on. Make sure I clicked right. Okay, that was not what I wanted. But we can get Elish Norn in here. And we can still do Restoration of a Ganjo. That'll get us the planes out, thin the deck. Go ahead and put it down. Maybe I should have saved that to throw into the graveyard. And now this is going to go away and they're going to get a tally back, but they're not going to get any enter into the battlefield effect from it. I'm going to attack here. And finally, we go on the offensive. Kogla and Yadaro, they don't get to fight because the ETB effects don't work. Okay, let's go ahead and discard Field of Ruin. We'll go ahead and get back Meticulous Excavation. It doesn't save us from losing... Oh, but you know what? They don't get it back. Sorry. What happened there? There should have been Chapter 3, right? Return the exiled card to the battlefield. Did Elish Norn circuit that? Because I didn't. I'm actually not sure how that worked. Maybe that was Elish Norn that stopped that. Okay, they don't even get a tally back. So, what do we do then? How about... let's draw a card and get 4 life. We get to do it twice because of Elish Norn. Ah, that's what I wanted. Another Princess Takes Flight. Perfect timing. Get rid of the big one that can take on Elish Norn. Throw down our land. Bring this back up again so that they don't get rid of our spells. And I've done everything I can. All 10 of my lands are tapped. And our opponent is digging. There's another Tally, which doesn't help them, right? Elish Norn to the rescue. Okay, 5 creatures. Yeah, keep giving me more of those. That's great. They are running out of cards. Okay, they attacked with only 2. So we'll kill you. We'll chump block there. Elish Norn gets exiled. Kyron Flamerite gets exiled. Let's see, land can come down. Another Restoration of Aganja. And they give it up. That was a couple of Atalis. Well, I was trying to start the recording early for my very first bout, and we got completely thrashed by Mono Red Aggro, who got out 2 creatures and just every spell in the world to pump them up that I couldn't stop. But with that, we've already got our daily chore done for the day. Let me go in, just for those of you who didn't watch the initial video from, it's only a couple days ago, Repairing Enchantments. We'll go through the deck really quick, just because I'm always assuming that this is the first video for somebody. So remember to like and subscribe. But I do encourage you to go back and watch the other one. This is the trick. Infinite removal. Princess takes flight. You exile up to 1 target creature. Then a target creature you control gets +2/+2 against flying. And in the third chapter, you return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's a very unique enchantment. Because we can use the 3-mana activation from Meticulous Excavation, we can return the Enchantment Saga to our hand, and then that disrupts the whole chain before it triggers the return of the card to its owner's control. If we bring this up back to our hand, whatever card is exiled there actually goes into the exile zone. It doesn't go back to the battlefield. So as long as we can recycle this with Meticulous Excavation, we can exile any creature that doesn't have hexproof until the cows come home. And then most of the deck is built around the rest of that. We've got a couple of By Invitation only to deal with hexproof and expel the interlopers, my daily yield removals. We've got 1 copy of Repair and Recharge to bring back a spell that we might need. And in case we don't have Meticulous Excavation and we need to do a emergency break the spell, we've got Break the Spell. Some other nice things that can help us out that we'd like to recycle: Air of Enlightenment, Hopeless Vigil for bringing in tokens, Machiko's Ramp, beefing them up with the number of enchantments, and of course some good old steadies, Hallowed Haunting and Sigarda Splendor. Lorna the Third Path we have ourselves, and Invasion of Dominaria for 4 life and a card draw. 4 Restoration of Aganjas to get the planes out. 1 Temporary Lockdown, and 1 Loyal Griff hiding in among all that. 3 Invasion of Belenons. 1 Heliod the Radiant Dawn. Return target enchantment from the graveyard to her hand. Elish Norn you just saw, that was a lifesaver. And Io the Dawn Sky. That's the deck. And we went undefeated when I trotted it out. And I have had a terrible history in Ranked. Usually when I go into Ranked, I get 1 land the very first time I switch over. But I didn't go into any regular play today. I went only into Ranked. I went straight into Ranked. And I lost my first round to Mono Red. So we're not undefeated already. We're 50-50 already. But for some reason the recording wouldn't start. I went and checked my settings and everything checked out, and it started now, so we're good to go. I do not have the combo. I do not have even 1 piece of the combo. And we have him frozen, so we're just waiting for our opponent to show up. There we go. I always lose when I say hello, but I'll say hello anyway. What are you going to take? What do they consider to be the biggest threat here? If it were you, what card would you take? They choose temporary lockdown. Allegedly, if we get these lands out earlier, the sooner we do, the better the odds of drawing a good spell when we need one, and being able to pay for it. So, almost always you choose whatever ramp spell you have to get your land out first. Only one spell a turn? That is a problem for us, actually. We don't like that. Discard a card. You know what? If I discard this one... Hang on. That was 3, so I can't bring that back. I can discard that, and it comes back without me having to pay for it. Another restoration of a Gajo and a board wipe. I like it. We can play this, and we can bring this puppy down. And see, here we managed to get 2 spells, but I didn't cast that one, so we got around Phyrexian Censor this time. But it does need to go. Oh, it needs to go very soon. No blocks. So this is going to hurt, right? Because we know we're not getting land right away. And I don't have enough to cast Expel the Interlopers. So, even though I wanted to have 2 copies of that, I've got to go make sure I get the land now, so I can afford to cast the spell next turn. And if they have 2 Shieldreds in a row, which happens quite a lot, I could be in a heap of trouble. So I'm going to be half dead here if they're willing to attack with Shieldred. That's kind of good for me in a way. Okay, don't attack with Shieldred. Oh, they do attack, but only with 1. Okay. So, we draw. We will play that land. I don't need to discard anything. I can just play this land like normal. And then our Diala yield, we choose 4, and all of our creatures will stay. This turns into a board wipe only for the enemy. And then we get to swing in. That worked out lovely. Would have worked out better if I'd had another Expel the Interlopers, but whatever. They play 2 spells, now we can only play 1. They can make that a 2/2, and their 4/4 is already bigger than anything I would throw at them. But we can chump block for days, right? Let's do a Hallowed Haunting now. And we don't attack. They've got a little bit of time here. And they're just going to pump everything up, right? As big and fast as they can. Now, you still got more life than me. Do you wait? No, you attack now. Interesting choices. Let's go ahead and get rid of you, so you don't get pumped up anymore. And we'll get rid of you so I can cast more than 1 spell if I get a chance. And they can only kill 1 of these 2. So I'm only taking 4. Okay, they take out Restoration of Gajo. Actually, sorry, Architect Restoration is what it is now, because they don't like to have You don't like all the tokens that are being generated. Well, guess what? You're going to have to live with that. Because I'm going to break one of these. And is it time to go ahead and break this? I think so. This way we can pump up everybody by one. And it gets us another spirit token. So not a single source of our winning combo for the infinite removal. No meticulous excavation, no princess takes flight. But hallowed hunting to the rescue. And even though they've got us 13-6, they don't even want to try anymore. Which is good because that means that the deck is not necessarily one-trick pony. I can actually take it out in ranked and not even get a single one of those 8 cards for the entire match and still have a chance at winning. So that is the sign that you do have a well-rounded deck as opposed to trapping yourself into a corner by designing this one piece of jank that you're relying on. Which I do quite often, but since I stay away from rank so often, I don't really care about it that much. I stopped concerning myself with winning a long time ago. When I was younger, I'd do chess tournaments, and I've got trophies from that. And I tried to get into Magic a little bit for tournaments, but as soon as I placed second in a tournament, they changed the rules. They came out with an updated banned and restricted list, and my land tax was banned all of a sudden. So it's like the deck that I liked that kind of had an alternate win scenario was not allowed in tournament anymore. And I really got discouraged, and I kind of quit. As I didn't like the idea. It seemed like it was a money sink. That there was just no way I would be able to keep affording all of the brand new cards to keep up with the meta in the tournament environment at the time. So when I came back after like 20 years away, I found out there were a couple of sources here. I think Arena was maybe a couple of years old, but it was the newer option, and it looked like it had a better visual interface at least. The other one is still up and running with thousands of adherents, tens of thousands of adherents, and it looks a little bit closer to the actual across-the-table board play, I think. I'm not sure if this is the greatest start against mono-red aggro, to have 2 5-drops. We don't have a ton of expensive spells, but Arena tends to always give you at least one of the most powerful cards in your hand right away. And when you're up against something like mono-red aggro, having 2 of them might be a death sentence, because mono-red tries to knock you out by turn 4. And I don't have a creature yet. This Machiko's Reign of Truth is only useful when you already have something, so I could very much be in trouble unless I get my Princess Takes Flight. And no. We actually get more land than spells against mono-red aggro. That is not helpful, Arena. Flooding out with land against mono-red aggro is a certain death sentence. See? That's like 8 points of damage already. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Arena. 4, 5, 6 lands, 2 dead spells, and 1 that I could cast that's completely worthless. Yeah. And red beats me with 3 lands. So yeah, this is what happens. This is what I'm used to being treated like when I go into ranked battles. This is how Arena usually handles me. Come on through. Turn 4 kill. Yeah, I'm pretty much used to that. And this is the part that I have trouble with on the way that Arena does things. Because you know that even for the ranked battles, they have their algorithm. They've stated publicly that they want to make sure that it's not only a skill-based game, that when new people are playing, they have a chance to win. I would argue that if you're going to go into ranked, you don't need to be a newbie anymore. You don't need to be treated with kid gloves. It's okay to be more randomized and not actually force the losses by triggering your algorithm to make sure that you lose. I've kind of lost track of the number of times that they've thrown me up against mono red and done one of the two things. They've either mono-starred me, like here, I've got 24 lands. This does not happen during regular play. In the entire time that I've been playing regular play, I do not get one land. The way that their algorithm is supposed to work is they get two deals. They have two deals the machine sees, and Arena is required to give you the best of the two. And out of the two deals, the best they could give me was one land. That is BS. I guess I have to do it this way. And I might get flooded again, but I have to be able to do temporary lockdown if needed. Oh, instead, they give me the most powerful card in my deck, the most expensive, and the one that I can't use until something's actually in my graveyard. I started this deck making 4 of these, and they gave me so many of these so often that I had to cut it down to 1 copy. And let's go ahead and see. I'm assuming we're up against counterspells. This is not that dangerous a spell, but if they have something, a 2-mana spell, and they want to make good on it, never mind. What are you playing at, game? They do nothing. I've got 2 flashcards, so if I look like I'm gonna pass, are you just gonna do nothing but set out lands the entire time? Let me try and pull a trick out of Blue's playbook, and I'll do a spell on their turn. It's got to be counterspell, right? Or is it just a Haughty Djinn deck, which is still counterspells? There we go. We made them do something at least. Does that allow us to do anything? Well, we could do a Ganjo and not have to worry about a counterspell for a second. Fading Hope, and they like the next card they're going to get, and they still keep 2 mana open. But the cool thing is, I can discard this, get this back, and that's not casting a spell in the regular way. Do you Fading Hope this as well? They do. They Fading Hope that as well. I guess that's fine. I mean, Loyal Griff saves things from dying. I play Loyal Griff when I want things to go up anyway. Let's do this again. What can you do with 1 mana open? Do you have yet another Fading Hope or just a search spell? There is a counterspell that costs only 1 for non-creature spells, but it gives me 2 treasure tokens, so that's not what they have. We get to scry again. Another Lorn and a Meticulous. Let me do Meticulous first. I'm okay with Lorn, I think. I'm okay with a backup Lorn. Just because I don't know if they're going to have enchantments and artifacts or not, but they could. Blue's whole gig when you're doing pure counterspells is to try and make sure that you keep things off the field. And even though I've only got one once, I've already kind of beaten them at their strategy for the opening rounds. So I've got good odds here. We're going to see if they have anything that they're going to flash in themselves. If they try and flash something in against Resolute Reinforcements, then I can bring down Loyal Griff and actually save it. And because they have some spell they can cast, we've got to wait. We've got to go really slow. You got to remember that it's blue. They need their time to consider every single thing that they might want to do. And they choose to do absolutely nothing the entire time. Okay, we'll try this. I have 4 copies in the deck, so it's not the absolute worst thing. And then we could actually bring this back up. And we could scry and gain more life. And do you have a search spell? What are you going to do with this? Okay, it just is another impulse the whole time. They finally get something they want. So does that also mean this is a Haughty Djinn deck? Okay, I kind of need to see what else is coming my way. Any one of my 4 board wipes would take that out. I can pay that. Why would you bother wasting your spell when there's a chance that I could tap out later and you could make good on that? Okay, I'm gonna assume that I don't need one of those. I do need a 5th one so I can bring out Ao the Dawn Sky. No attacks this time. We do have the ability to do some chump blocking, or we could just block with everybody. Which might be an option. That's their 3rd impulse, so... and another consider. They're still digging. That means they've actually searched through about half their deck. Oh, hello. And they gave it talk to. That's not normally a spell you see in this kind of game. That comes in tapped, unfortunately. I think we just pass. There's their Djinn. And we really do have to block. I'm assuming they'll take out the Architect of Restoration. Will they let me bring down the Griff? Okay, they have Essence Scatter for that. That was not the spell I wanted. But we can get this down. And they've already used how many Fading Hopes from earlier? 2? What are the odds? They're just coming on through. So they might have a pump spell? I mean, I would have to trade off with all of that. Let's try Restoration. That's not a really devastatingly threatening spell, but if that's all I've got, and I don't have anything of theirs to destroy, but I might need another chump blocker. Do you have another Essence Scatter? I don't need to destroy anything. So maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have recognized this was going to be Haughty Djinn deck earlier on, and when I scryed the first time, I should have scryed away the duplicate Lauren. Really, if they have more of these Aspirants Ascents, they give them +1/+3. I'm pretty much a goner, aren't I? Whatever they have, they don't feel it's enough to attack yet. Okay, is there anything in my graveyard? There's nothing that's of 2. So we can just discard that. Brings it back without casting it, so we've got a second one. I can play the land. And we can go looking for something else. Get another land. Okay. Maybe this is a mistake, but this has Vigilance. If they're not feeling comfortable to attack, they go digging. They throw away the land. Do you want to trade? They have the Fading Hope. Okay, and I don't have enough mana to bring things down. So I guess they're going to get a hit for at least 13, and more if they have other instants and sorceries they can cast. They might have lethal this turn. Which I'm not sure there was a way around that, because they could have done this whether I attacked or not. So they're going to get the 13. Do you have more spells you can cast? No. Okay, so the question is, do they have an Essence Scatter handy? There isn't much other choice. Can you stop that? They have the Essence Scatter. What are the odds? So it didn't really matter if I'd attacked or not. I mean, I can go ahead and have us both draw something. Maybe I should have done that first. No, it's just they flooded me out was all. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Man, they're taking a long time. Okay, blue beat me with only 6 lands, and we basically drew 10. A little bit of that was Restoration of Aganjo, but you sort of do need to be able to draw useful spells. And blue dug through their entire deck. They had exactly what they needed for drawing into the Fading Hope, which they used 3 of them, and then having the creature counterspell at exactly the right time for the win. Which is not abnormal for the Haughty Djinn deck. I am a little surprised to see Haughty Djinn still, considering how fast mono red can be in the current environment. We don't have a 2-drop spell, so we play the tap land now. We have 1 piece of our combo. And we have enough to play our 5 drops already, so we have no land concerns about being mana starved. That's a good start. Do we have to put up with yet another round of blue color taking forever and deciding to do nothing? No, we're milling 3 cards. What did we lose? Invasion and Resolute Reinforcements. I think we can go ahead and afford to lose that now. Is there anything that we wanted back? Resolute Reinforcements. So we'll go ahead and discard that. We'll bring back the Resolute Reinforcements. We'll go ahead and get the 4th land. And then we don't really have a spell to break or anything, so we pass the turn. And we managed to throw away 2 lands already. But the rate that Arena's giving me lands right now, that should be okay. What did they lose? A Duress, a Jace, and a land. Not bad. The discard is worrisome if they know what Princess Takes Flight can do. But that's why I've got 4 copies, so I could have 1 on the field and have 1 in the hand. And they probably have a bunch of removal spells, but it's got a chafe on them that they'd have to use them on 1/1s. But if they're going up against mono red and ranked, they've got to be used to that by now, right? And of course, since they have blue, they have all these spells. They have a full hand. You gotta give them the time. They've got so many choices. They have to think and think and think and consider and ponder and consult their memory for the deluge of spells they have available. Kind of surprised that they did that on their turn. Because now they have to discard, right? Usually people wait to cast Memory Deluge until it's their opponent's turn. That was a lot of roping to throw away a Go for the Throat instead of just use a Go for the Throat. And since you're tapped out, I can do this. First Blood is mine. What do you got? I'm assuming they threw away Go for the Throat because they have so many other spells. What do? Do we beef up ours with counters, or do we look at the next things? They want to do a board wipe, but they can't get us all. I guess we do this. Ooh, 2 invasions. Do we only get the 1? Oh, because it's got to be 4 or less total. Okay, so their board wipe still gives us yet another card, which is excellent. Do we go and beef that up? I don't think we do. I think we just go hit him in the face. Why? Because if we get a Meticulous Excavation, we can recycle this and just keep getting 2/2 Blue Knight creature tokens, which will irritate them to no end. Now, if they have a second Gix's Command... No, they just have a Shieldred. Okay. Okay. That was the only choice. The other 2 are tokens. Bingo! Oh, that's lovely. We can discard this. It comes into play without us having to cast it. We cast the Princess Takes Flight, gets rid of Shieldred, and then we just attack. And we don't do this yet because I want Chapter 2. I want to get a +2/+2 and flying on one of my creatures. So if they destroy this spell, this just gets exiled anyway. They lose it. But we have a choice on when we can bring that back up with Meticulous Excavation. And if they want us to... There is a spell, a 2-drop spell, I think from Kamigawa, right? Where they can make us sacrifice an enchantment. But we could sacrifice Restoration of Aganjo. They do nothing? They did nothing. Let's target this one. 3 creatures again. Okay. Yes, we will attack. Only 2 points. Wait, is there more? Okay, Infernal Grasp against Aganjo. Finally, I get to deal only 2 points of damage, but they cost themselves just as much life, and now we bring Excavation up, and they get to be surprised. In the meantime, we can do another Restoration of Aganjo. Thin out our deck some more. Play the land. End the turn. And if they have more removal, we've got another Architect on the way. And how much... They're gonna play Shieldred doesn't get rid of my token. Oh, you should have learned. You don't have enough to do a counterspell. Is there anything that's cool? Okay, so let's discard the land. We'll get Resolute Reinforcements. I don't need any more land right now. Princess Takes Flight. You go away again. I don't care about your Mythic Rare enchantments anymore, your Mythic Rare creatures. You can throw any one single Mythic Rare at me, it does not matter anymore. I've got infinite removal. Yours, except for Gix's Command, is all single removal. Yeah. We're working, people. They only tried to Mana Starve us once on the deal, and I am smart enough these days to mulligan, as opposed to just... I used to have a very morbid curiosity to see exactly how bad Arena was going to treat me, so I wouldn't mulligan. I would actually play it out and see if I could pull it out. And there was a rare case where I would actually pull it out and get just enough lands to cast just what I needed, and I would win. And it was sweet when I did that, but it was very rare. So I have learned to mulligan when they make me. Been a little bit more land flooding. But not bad today. I don't feel like Arena's necessarily out to get me per se. Especially since it just gave me my winning combo. And enough land to cast everything. And a backup in case they get wise and destroy my enchantment with a Besieger land or something. Okay, so all we need is creatures. Or battles. Anything else, basically. Alright, we bring out our first way to exile creatures. Do you deal with Princess Takes Flight? Has anybody used it on you before? Vorinclex. Ramping very fast. I don't have enough to do that. I can go ahead and bring you back up. We're going to have to take a hit of 6. And we're dead if they have nothing but big creatures for the remaining 5 cards. If that's what Arena's dealt them, they can just put down a threat every turn and we can't keep up. But if you want to get rid of one of these, I don't think you can get rid of more than one at a time. Okay, they're going to get another land, 3, 6, 7. That's almost enough to activate Vorinclex. Ouch. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, so we don't bring down that, we just expel the interlopers. Choose one. You just lost all 3 of your creatures. And now you have a shielder. Of course you do. And you have 2 creatures. You have 2 creatures. Look at that. Okay, we draw. Temporary lockdown. It's not going to be good. Let's see, I can't do 2 spells yet, so we get rid of Shieldred. We bring this back up immediately. Shieldred's permanently exiled. We're going to take another hit from Enrica next turn. If I could do one more land, I could get down Hallowed Haunting and get some tokens. Unnatural Growth isn't that big a deal for me. They do get lifelink out of this. That's a big hit. Alright. Maybe I should have done Hallowed Haunting. Let's do it now, even though I did it in the wrong order. I'm counting on the fact they're not going to have anything with haste. At some point, they're going to have to draw more land instead of another threat, right? You destroyed everything, which I have nothing on the field, so that was useless. Excellent. Okay. So we bring this back up. We cast it, even though there's nothing there, but that's what gives us our token. In the meantime, we're going to destroy you. And now if you got removal spells, you can use them on my 1/1 tokens. Shieldred doesn't work on a token! And you flood it out, and I'm flooding out. That's a couple lands in a row. We bring that back up. We get rid of Shieldred. Very popular card that's facing Shieldred yet again. Shieldred goes bye-bye. We're going to leave it on the field. And we get to start the pummeling. And you can only bring out 1 creature at a time now. Oh, that's lovely. Now if they destroy Princess Takes Flight, it doesn't matter. This is the first time I've done this particular combo. But this is another way, besides just Meticulous and Princess Takes Flight, with Hallowed Haunting and Meticulous, you get another little pattern here of infinite token generation, which I haven't pointed out before. But yeah, I'm not sure why the opponent is still here. Because they know what I can do. Like, sing along if this sounds familiar. Unless you have a haste creature, I'm not even going to put down the extra land. I mean, I should have cast the other Princess Takes Flight and done lethal already, but I wasn't paying attention, honestly. I'm surprised I hung around that long for a ranked battle. So even though you all didn't get to see the first one where we got killed by mono red, I'm going to count that. I should have been keeping track of my total wins and losses. You all may have to tell me when I'm done. Leave a comment and let me know what my win-loss ratio record was here. But go ahead and give me an extra loss for that first mono red that beat us that I wasn't able to record. We'll do one more. It's a very good outing. I mean, usually at this point, I expect either land starved or them to not give me my combo. Okay, so there's no combo there. But they gave me 3 lands, so land flooding? I'm very paranoid now with Arena. I'm not used to things going this well in ranked. Okay, mono red, which can put me in my place by turn 4, right? But we have a Lauren to get rid of Kamano at least. I can practically guarantee that nobody else uses Meticulous Excavation in ranked. I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. Okay, that starts a clock on me. Let's go ahead and bring down Lauren now. Lauren can't be a big surprise to them. Squee is a problem. I think we have to give up Lauren here. Which is a shame. It would be nice to recycle Lauren against future Kamanos or whatever. Hallowed Haunting? Do we have time for this? That will give us a chump blocker every time we cast something. Will a single chump blocker be enough until we can get everything going? If we can do this next turn and get some life gain too. They got just as much land as we do. And a nice little army. Temporary lockdown would come in great right now. And that is like the worst possible thing that could have been given to me. I guess we try this. I mean, it gives me a 1/1. But I'm so close to death. I've got 4 board wipes and a temporary lockdown. They can just play the end the festivities. I think they got me this turn already. So yeah, mono red aggro gets to go first, and I don't get any of my stuff. Well, that was a turn 5 kill instead of turn 4, but yeah, if red gets to go first, we're not necessarily in the greatest of shape. Especially since I only have 1 copy of Temporary Lockdown. So I think we're at about 50-50 with that. Which is better than most of what I'm doing on rank these days, because everything else that I've put together starts off great and then Arena really sabotages. Like, I end up, by the time I've gone into my 5th or 6th battle, I'm really getting land starved or flooded a ton, or they've chosen to selectively not give me certain cards. You will notice on that last battle that we didn't get either the Princess Takes Flight nor Meticulous Excavation, whereas the turn before we got it right away and the whole match was ours. So, but this does take a little bit of time to get going, right? Because if you want to exile and bring it back, you do need 6 lands. And red usually gets just the right combination of creatures plus instants and sorceries that we just couldn't slow them down. I'm not sure if I don't think there was a way that I could have really saved myself on that lone. Even though there was a different way I could have played it, but I don't know that it would have even gained me 1 more turn. But so, yeah, maybe, I mean, Should I have more temporary lockdowns in here? I'm not sure. Facing mono red aggro is just a fact of life in this particular meta environment. So, but anyway, there you actually get to see me take a deck out into ranked, and for a change, we held our own and won about half of our battles. So, not too shabby. Go ahead and leave a comment, like and subscribe, and we'll have something different for you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.